I went out with an unknown group on Halloween to collect candy. I can't recall the costumes we wore. It was already dark as we went from door to door. Arriving at an apartment with a stairwell illuminated through a window, I saw a black figure at the window. The body seemed human, but it had horns on its head and white, glowing eyes. At that moment, I didn't understand what I had let in, what it meant. But all this was just a dream, a nightmare. In the following days, I didn't think much about this figure, as it seemed to be a one-time occurrence. However, from that dream onwards, I suffered from depression triggered by family, friendship, and school problems. At that time, I was 21 to 22 years old, studying, and still living with my parents. The problems in my family had worsened due to the death of a family member. My friendships with two of my closest friends also began to crumble, as we were unable to have mature conversations about our problems. The increasing stress at university made it even harder for me to manage everything. A particularly strange experience happened during dinner with my family at my grandma's place. We were in her old apartment, although she hadn't lived there for 10 years. The place gave me goosebumps, old, gray, and smelling of cigarette smoke. The food tasted only of onions, which spoiled my appetite. While my family chatted and ignored me, I felt as if someone was looking over my shoulder. An uncomfortable feeling of being watched followed me. I felt a magical pull towards Grandma's bedroom. But as I entered, it became dark, and the sounds of dinner ceased. A dark shadow appeared on the wall, with a large hump, horns, and white eyes. Panic gripped me, and I just wanted to flee. My eyes slowly closed and reopened. I was lying in my bed, drenched in sweat, looking around. I couldn't move, and the blanket felt heavy on me. The depression intensified, and my behavior became increasingly strange. I felt as if someone else had taken over me. Indecision, confusion, and fear accompanied me from then on. The nightmares became more frequent, and I suffered from sleep paralysis. Again and again, I thought I saw someone out of the corner of my eye or saw someone fleeting by. But the worst was the sleep demon, who lurked as a silent observer in my dreams. He blended into the surroundings, sometimes a drawing, sometimes a shadow or an outline. But no matter how he appeared, he took my breath away. A particularly oppressive experience happened when I was climbing a staircase with my mother. The way seemed endless. The walls were white, and the stairs yellow with black steps. The atmosphere was gray and empty. The higher we climbed, the emptier and grayer it became. Finally, we reached an apartment door, opened by an unknown woman. As we entered, I stood by the window and saw him standing there, with his hump, his horns, and the glowing white eyes. He showed me a suffocating smile with his sharp teeth. Emotionless, I followed the woman into the room she wanted to show us. But the room was charred, and the furniture looked as if it had melted. Panic gripped me, and I felt an indescribable fear. Darkness surrounded me, with no solid ground and no clear sight. Everything I tried to hold onto turned to smoke and vanished. A deep, dark hole formed in my stomach, swallowing all the good and bright things until only darkness remained. Did I feel guilty about everything? Was I wrong? Was I just a burden? Was I in everyone's way? I wandered along a beach, the surroundings veiled in darkness. Is this really a beach? I heard the sound of the waves but saw no water. The sand beneath my feet did not give way easily, but it tickled with every step. Without thinking, I followed the endless beach and let myself drift. Now I am 23 years old. The phase of depression is over, and I have regained my balance by practicing acceptance and taking care of my body, mind, and surroundings. The sleep demon has not appeared in my dreams for 6 months, and I can now sleep without any issues. Was he real or just a manifestation of my problems or a part of myself? To me, he seemed very real, and even if not, it seems he only embedded himself in me because I had lost my inner balance and could only drive him away by returning to that balance.